checked out the starting five for both teams. First for the Spurs, Parker and Danny Green are your 1 and your 2. And in the middle, out of Brazil, taken with the 28th pick back in 2008, the 6'11" pivot man, Thiago Splitter. Then there's Kawhi Leonard, and it's Duncan in at the power forward position. And for Miami, Chalmers and T-Wade are the guards. And playing at the 5, the always versatile 6'11" star big man, able to score inside and out, Chris Bosh. And it's LeBron James, and it's Haslam in at the 4 spot. Duncan, the pass to Parker.
You know, he's not the most flashy point guard out there, and you don't hear his name when people talk about the best point guards in the game, but I think Parker is one of the best in the business when it comes right down to it. He's able to do so many things out there for you, and just had a dominant season for the Spurs a year ago.
Steve, Parker's fearlessness going to the hoop is what makes him such a devastating player in crunch time. Often you'll see him go right into a bigger guy, take the contact, and still find a way to finish the play.
Boy, he is a strong finisher on the fast break.
Yeah, he sure is. He remains in total control, even at full speed. I love that about him.
And Miami has possession. It's a 5-point game. Chalmers, covered by Parker, unloads from 13. And a fast break now for the Spurs. Makes the lead pass. LeBron with the block. But they'll get another chance. Parker kicks to Leonard. Shot clock at 6. And it is flushed down with a nice jam.
My goodness, he sure can get off the ground.
One of the best in the business for sure. You're right.
Such an imposing finisher around the rim. It's intimidating to the defense, really.
For San Antonio, they've gone 3 of 4 from the field to start out the game.
One of the drawbacks to the Heat going with the small lineup is they get pummeled on the glass. Last season, they fell into the bottom 10 in the league in rebound rate, but because they force turnovers and are so active pressuring the ball, they often overcame that rebounding disadvantage.
For Miami, they've gone 1 of 3 from the field to start this one so far. And Bosh gets it to go on the assist by LeBron.
Well, he's so hard to stop, guys, because he poses a ton of matchup problems for the defense.
And for the Heat, they can't expect to crush teams on the boards, giving up size the way they do, but their willingness to battle, Steve, is incredibly impressive.
No doubt. I mean, you're talking about, of course, LeBron, but also, you know, Shane Battier playing the power forward, Chris Anderson, the Birdman, going up against a lot of bigger 5s. Now, this is a team that has a lot of grit and toughness, and they scrap for every loose ball and every rebound, and they have to in order to win.
They get the rebound. Here's Duncan. And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. It's going to be on Udonis Haslem.
And the defense fouling there to prevent that layup, forcing 2 free throws here.
Nice job that time of attacking the paint and drawing the contact. They'll take that.
And Duncan drops them both.
You know, the Spurs really have a cohesive culture, and part of that is something that Greg Popovich has been able to do, and that's being able to join guys together that normally might not hang out. For instance, you had Matt Bonner taking Steven Jackson out to a Coldplay concert last season. One way to help guys get to know each other off the court, and it helps them on the court.
Back to Popovich and the Spurs, he really makes a point of getting to know his players, have them get to know one another.
That's right, Kevin. He likes to have his players have a sense of perspective about the world. He wants them to know that there are other things going on besides the NBA. In fact, back in 2012, he had the players watching the presidential debates together.
And he can't get the second one to drop either. Coming up empty that time.
You know, a big part of why the Spurs were so good last season, guys, was that they were able to finish games strong. You think a group of vets might run out of gas, but the opposite was true with this group. They turned it up down the stretch and were one of the most productive teams in the league in terms of fourth quarter points.
Just over 2.5 minutes played here so far in the first quarter. Here's Chalmers, and it's good. Through contact, it's the shot. He'll go to the free throw line. Well, Clark, a big part of why the Spurs were so good last year in the fourth was because they have so many options when possessions, Steve, start getting critical and the game is tight.
Well, no question. You got Parker to create off the dribble. You can always throw it into the low post to Duncan. But on top of that, you've got a roster full of guys who understand how to play the game and know how to play each other. Just the experience that this group has gained together over the years, I think allows them to execute under pressure.
Now, here's Green. Feeds to Parker. Once again off the mark by San Antonio. The Heat trailed by 5. And Doris Burke caught up with Coach Greg Popovich. Doris?
Of course, the conversation veered to the challenge of defending LeBron James. And he said, there's not a lot of good options with him. He can really do it all. I think you just have to try and stay in front of him. And if he gets in close, you have to bring help. And guys, we've seen LeBron really force the issue as far as getting into the lane. We'll see how they do.
And thank you for that, Doris.
Well, he doesn't waste too many of those chances close to the basket.
He'd have gotten 4 of 6 field goal attempts to drop in the first quarter. Back to Bosch. He kicks it to Haslam. 6 to shoot. It's stolen by Green. And it's Green slapping it down.
Guys, that's simply superb. Ball pressure, a run out, and then a dunk in transition.
Exactly, Clark, what they wanted. The aggressive defense to lead to.
Yeah, points in transition.
Yeah, that's why you want to make the other team feel uncomfortable handling the ball, because you can get easy points out of it at the other end.
Heat head coach Eric Spoelstra worked his way up from the very bottom in that organization. I mean, he got his start as a video coordinator, and through years of hard work and dedication, he's really become an outstanding coach.
So San Antonio going with an almost entirely new group here. Matt Bonner, he's checked in for Splitter. Diaw comes in for Tim Duncan. Otto Ginobili's checked in for Kawhi Leonard. And it's Bellinelli in for Daniel Green. Now here's Parker. 7 points in the game. Good. And back to Coach Eric Spoelstra. He's a guy who got his start as a video coordinator, taking the game apart. Steve, he's very comfortable with the new advanced stat move analytics in the NBA.
Yeah, and I've had a chance to speak with him quite a bit. He says that the way they use advanced stats is just as a conversation piece in the coaching room. Their analytics department will bring them various information, and it will force them to ask questions, which is very healthy for a coaching staff.
Hey, last season Chalmers missed a game-winning shot. That happens to a lot of guys in this league, but what he did the next game is of note. He made 10 threes, and arguably his best game ever, as he set a Miami Heat team record for makes beyond the arc.
He doesn't get the second one. And Mario Chalmers grew up in Alaska. Not too many NBA players hailing from up there, taken with the 34th pick back in 08.
Played his entire career with the Heat, and really it was a perfect situation for him when LeBron arrived, because he's a kind of a combo guard. He plays the point, but he's an excellent spot-up shooter. He can play off of LeBron and Wade quite well. It's the 10th straight point they've given up in the paint. I guess the good news is they've taken away the outside shot.
Well, you know what? It doesn't matter how good their perimeter defense is if they're going to allow inside looks as easy as that.
Again, the miss by the Spurs.
Steve, they've come out with the take-no-prisoners approach on the glass today.
Yeah, it's impressive, too. It's already gotten a +5 margin in the rebound column. They've been so effective when they've been able to get the ball inside.
Some real shortcomings from this defense. I mean, they've given up 5 straight looks in the paint.
And now we've got the intentional foul.
I'm not sure what he was thinking about there. That's a strange foul.
Who knows? Maybe he just wanted to take a break for a minute.
Well, Miami stormed through the regular season and was viewed as the clear-cut favorites to come out of the East, but it was not as easy as expected. After sweeping Milwaukee, the Bulls gave them a scare, then the Pacers really took them deep, all the way to Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals.
And boy, that looked like goaltending. Yes, it is, and so they will award the basket there.
He almost got to that shot in time, but not quite. You can't touch the ball once it's on the way down.
And that call gets an instant reaction from the fans.
Well, that's a whistle that did not go over very well.
What a quarter for him at the offensive end. He's ignored the scoreboard and attempted to go out there and do his thing.
Parker kicks to Ginobili. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
Yeah, the referee's all over that one.
No doubt about it. Clearly a foul. Nothing to argue about there.
The Spurs shooting their 6th and 7th free throw attempts tonight. That free throw good from Ginobili. And that one goes in. 2 from the line that time. Now Chalmers. Wade outside. He gets it up. And it would have counted had it fallen, but it's offline. A free-flowing first quarter. Great scoring through 1. And we welcome you back to start the quarter. Players had a chance to get hydrated with Gatorade. And there's certain to be some great basketball ahead for you.